Tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio, dropping knowledge in the studio you already know.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. And this is Prince Hakeem. And today I got something special for you. And this video podcast is sponsored by shoplikeaking.com. You know what I mean? Link is in the description. Coupon code is Chaos. Now, today we're going to talk about how to start a susu. I know you've heard this, and you know what I mean, there's many names of it. And I'm going to teach you how to do it the right way and not to get scammed, because I've been scammed before by this. But this is a great thing that Caribbean and people in third world countries do, and it's been a phenomenal in the Black American community. You know what I mean? Learning about the susu, the flower. It's a savings account, what they call a Rotary Savings and Credit Association. You know what I mean? And you can really do big things with this, and it's a form of group economics. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell you everything you want to know about a susu savings accounts. You know what I mean? This is something that Africans and Caribbean women love. This has been the pillar of our community, and this have helped us move a lot of things along. Besides the hustlers that used to invest in the community, this was a form of savings that the women created to help fund a lot of projects, and you can use this amongst family and friends to do this to make money. You know what I mean? And there's so many benefits to this, you just don't even know. And when you get this, and I hope you get a lot of value for this, I want you to see the graphics on the thing and what you can do. Now, if you're one of those people who just can't see themselves to save money for a rainy day, a susu may be just what you need to build up a little nest egg. If you haven't heard it, ask your girlfriend, ask your girlfriend's mama, ask your girlfriend's auntie, because a lot of people are bragging about it. But you gotta be careful. For the life of me, do not get in those susus that would ask you to get into Cash App and you have to use Telegram. Those are scams. That's not the way susu is done. A lot of people have gotten those things and lost their money, and it's been very problematic. You know what I mean? I've lost some money and stuff but I'm not mad. After you went through something, you learned. That was $100 thing that I learned. So I came to do this video so y'all can learn. Now, a susu, which is spelled S-U-S-U or S-O-U or S-O-U, is known as a merry-go-round, a form of Rotary Savings, a credit association, a type of informal savings club arrangement between a small group of people that takes turns throwing a hand. If a lot of people don't know what a hand is, that's a payout. And a lot of people call it partners. You know what I mean? The name is used in Africa, especially in West Africa and the Caribbean. This is a basic principle that each member of the group makes a standard contribution to form a fund once per period, and then each period the total contribution distribute to a single member of the group. The recipient change each period in a rotary fashion such that all members of the group eventually becomes paid. Okay? And my mother used this to funded her house 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So I tell you how this has worked for me. Now, the way these susu things work, the savings account, you could you know what I mean, you got to pick a total amount and a total funding. You know what I mean? You can fund it every week, bi-weekly, or monthly. And the total pool that a person does, and sometimes they do it by number depending on how many people you have in the group. And each person gets the payout, and after that it starts all over again. And that's how it is. Now, susu, which comes from the Yoruba language like asue, is originated in West Africa. It was practiced in many African and Caribbean cultures for generations. Let's say that. Generation. It's involved in the basic concepts. Somalis call it hagbad or ayotu. Jamaicans call it partner. In Guyana, they call it box hand. In Haitians, you know what I mean, I come from the island of Haiti, they call it asue. You know what I mean? Now, let me tell you a basic principle of how this works. Now, you have to elect a group treasurer. You have to elect a group treasurer, somebody that's trustworthy, that you know is dependable, to make sure who's going to count the money and is not going to run off with it. Okay? And he takes the contribution, counts it, does a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? A lot of this becomes intricate. You know what I mean? Then She's going to make a payout roster of each member and request to receive their hand at the giving time of the cycle. Everyone agrees on how much and how often they're going to contribute. Now, I'm going to just give you a simple calculation here. So let's say, for instance, if there's 10 members contributing $100 a week, and each week a member receives $1,000 hand or cash lump sum. The cycle begins again after 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So everybody puts in 100. Who's number one gets 1,000. Second week, 2,000. Third week, 3,000. And we start all over. And any member who can afford it can also double their contribution and get paid 2 hands in a cycle. That's how it is. Now, mind you, why this is so good that there's no interest to collect on this, so you always get exact amount what you put in the pot. Now, let me go to the fun and nitty gritty stuff. Now, you have to get somebody that's trustworthy. This is the back stuff I'm wondering. I don't recommend you to do this with strangers. I'm telling you that right now. Do not do this with strangers. And do it with dependable people who has a consistent flow of money. You can't do this if you don't work. It doesn't work like that. You have to be able to pay and do it consistently. This is why women have been able to manifest this for so long. Now, I go back and say you got to get somebody trustworthy. You know what I mean? That's really important. There's been instances where people run off with the susu and stuff like get somebody trustworthy. And sometimes this is why you have a lot of people in jobs that do it. The cleaning ladies, the cleaning guys, they all do this. I'm talking about weddings are being paid from this. Cars, houses are down payment. Businesses are being started from this, okay? You got to decide the amount that's going to be given in. If it's $1,000 or if it's $10,000. I say start small, like $100. $100 a week should be able to, you could be proficient. If it's a bi-weekly, everybody does it bi-weekly. And you pay it out each check, okay? Now, you also got to determine the frequency of how the payout is going to be. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to be once a week for 10 weeks, if we're doing a hand of 10, or, once a month, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what people might need, this is a great saving tool. Then you got to determine how it's going to be collected and distributed. That all goes back to number one, the trustworthy treasurer. You know what I mean? That's why it's important to find somebody that's consistent, that's trustworthy, who doesn't have money problems, you know what I mean, or who's not going to do that scam shit with the flowers that you see. Now, you can actually use a flower diagram to keep track of everybody else, but do not do the one with the Cash App and stuff. If it's not family and friends, do not get involved with strangers. You'll lose out on your money, and people numbers will change. Now, I hope I explained it to you the best way possible I can. This is a great saving tool. I want to thank shoplikeaking.com. Coupon code is chaos. They sponsored this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I can bring more content like this for you. I want you to have a wonderful day, and this is Chaos Culture Radio out. Like and subscribe. Share this video. Share this podcast. Send it to all your friends. Tell them what's popping. Peace. Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.